How's it going, everybody? My name is Alex Peitz with Peitz Performance, and if you're watching this video, chances are you have purchased a tune from us, and we greatly appreciate it. We are making this video just to show you some of the ins and outs of when you get your RTD, remote tuning device, in the box. This is what's actually going to be included, and also the process of what you're going to go through to load the tune actually onto your vehicle. So stay tuned and let's get to it. Alright guys, let's walk you through the RTD, or the remote tuning device, just a little more in depth. So once you place your order, you're going to get this RTD in the mail, and this is going to be the device you're going to use to actually load the tune onto your vehicle using what's called the Tune Delivery Network, and that's the TDN for short, which is the TDN app that you're going to download on your Android or your Apple device. So basically, you're going to get this guy, get the app, download the app, install it, and then we're gonna go walk you through how to use that app from there. Okay, now that you have downloaded your TDN app, this is going to be the landing screen or the home page of the app. First and foremost, you're gonna need to create an account and get set up with HP Tuners. So essentially what you're gonna have to do is click on account, and then we have already actually signed in here. So if you're going to make a new account, it's gonna prompt you to do so. So we'll just log out real quick here so I can kind of show you how that works. Okay, so we logged out. So now, this is the screen it's going to look like. So it's going to have a blank user, blank password. So it's going to ask you to either log in. If you already have an HP Tuners account, you can log in right there, or you can register a new account right here as well. All right, so now Drew is logged in. So now we are ready to go ahead and start tuning. Now, once you have your account created, you're now going to have to input the invite code. The invite code is something you're going to receive from us once you've purchased a tune, whether that be from us or from one of our partners. So now you can see right here, Peitz Performance Tunes, LLC. It's got our phone number. And you can also remove me as a link tuner later on if you so choose. So we're good to go now. We're linked up with, or you're linked up with me, and now we can actually go to try to load a tune in the vehicle. So you're gonna go back to the main screen here, right? And now you're gonna go to Flash. And first, because Drew here has never used TDN, he does not have any vehicles loaded or any tunes on his TDN app for any vehicles. So what you're gonna have to do now is you're gonna have to actually read the vehicle. Okay, so when we wanna actually go sync up and read the file out of the vehicle and get that onto our server for Peitz Performance server so you can actually receive the tune, the first thing you need to do is set up the Bluetooth and get your RTD, your device, linked up with the phone. So to do that, we're going to go to Tools, and we're going to go to RTD Plus First Time Setup. And now, if you had previously paired an MPVI RTD device, you may need to fully reset its Bluetooth pairings before continuing. So if you guys have been connected to an HP Tuners device before, you're going to need to delete that from the equation, and so we can actually connect with your current RTD that you received with the tune. So now we have not been linked up with anything before, so we can continue on. So click Next. And then it says we'll set up your MPVI or RTD for use on this device. So click Next. Okay, so now you need to plug in the OBD port. We're already plugged into the OBD2 port, and then turn ignition on. And our key is in the run position. So that's, if you're in a Dodge, you're going to hit the button twice. Or if it's a standard key, you're going to go all the way to the run position, but not running. So key on, engine off. That's very important. So go ahead and click Next. Now, once you're going to see the power being supplied to the RTD, so you're going to see the power being on, and then you're going to click the Bluetooth button. So we need to go down here and find the button, which I just clicked it. You can't see that, but I did. And once the light's all green, press and hold this button until Bluetooth light starts flashing. So again, press and hold until the Bluetooth light starts flashing, which it should be now. Next, it says TDN would like to use Bluetooth. This app uses Bluetooth to connect to your MPVI 2 Plus, RTD Plus, or other TDN compatible device. Okay, so now it's scanning for the Bluetooth device. Okay, so now we have a Bluetooth pairing request. HP Tuners MPVI 2 Plus would like to pair with your phone. Click on Pair. Now we accepted the pairing prompt. We're going to wait a few seconds. And then we're going to remove the MPVI or RTD from the OBD2 port, plug it back in, and wait for the green light. So basically wait for the RTD to get power again. Okay, so we unplugged it from the OBD port. Okay, now I plugged it back into the OBD port. And I click next. Now it's activating and synchronizing with the server. All right, setup complete, and it's that simple. And now we can communicate with this MPVI2 Plus or the RTD with your TDN app. All right, so now it's connecting to the MPVI2 Plus or RTD. The MPVI2 Plus basically is just a different version of the hardware, in case you guys don't know, which is just for other types of tuning. So now it's uploading the firmware file. So it's just going through its process. It's very important while it's doing this process it's very important not to unplug the MPVI device or the HP Tuners device from the OBD port, or else it's going to be, it's just going to create more problems. So we're just going to have to wait and let it do its thing. All right, so now we should all be set up now. So once you are actually communicating effectively with your RTD or your MPVI device, now we can actually read the current file out of the car. So we're going to go to the flash screen to do so, and we're going to click on Read Vehicle, and it's going to say, okay, please plug in the MPVI2 Plus or the RTD, turn ignition on, but do not start the engine. And again, that's the run position, not just accessories. So click OK. Now it's checking connection. It's connecting to the MPVI2 Plus and or RTD. I just want to note that this is only a one-time thing you're going to have to do. Once you've read the current file out of your vehicle, you should not ever have to do it again. So once you're actually in the process where you're loading the tune, it's only about a 2-minute process to flash the tune using your phone app. And also, if you purchase multiple tunes from us, you can select from whether it be a 93, 91, a 7-octane tune. You select that tune, it'll already be saved on the RTD, and it will just basically flash the vehicle from the RTD. So you don't have to worry about losing Bluetooth connectivity, but of course the RTD or the MPVI device needs to be plugged into the OBD2 port for the entirety of the flash process, which again is about 2 minutes tops. So if it seems a little daunting right now, I promise it's going to be a heck of a lot better once you get through this initial read. But we have to have the data from your car initially, so we know exactly what operating system, exactly what software is on the car, so we know exactly how to write your file. This is a little bit different than other companies or hardware you may have worked with in the past, because a lot of those hardwares just basically force a file onto your vehicle. The problem with that is you can get some irregularities of how the vehicle runs. You can have some slight issues potentially if you have an operating system or a piece of software that you load onto your hardware, being the ECU of the car, the brain of the car. If it's not jiving precisely, it can create issues. So this is a much more elegant way of doing so, of flashing your car. So that's the difference, and that's why we're doing this right now, in case you guys are wondering at home. All right, so we have finished reading the ZF8 HP Dodge TCM. So now we're going to turn the key off, wait 10 seconds, go key back on or ignition to the run position, click OK. Now it's saving the tune file. And now we're receiving those files from the MPVI, because what it actually did was it saved everything on the MPVI or the RTD, and now it's transferring from the RTD or the MPVI, depending on which one you have, is transferring from that HP Tuners device to your phone and saving these files on the phone now. All right, so now it's actually uploading the files that you just read from the vehicle, transferred over, it's uploading them to the server. It says now your vehicle tune has been read and sent to your linked tuner. So now what's going to happen is I am going to see that I have a new customer. It's going to have all your information on there, and I'm going to look at all the data that we received from you from the form, which you filled out after you placed the order, and I'll use all that information to build your tune for your vehicle. All right, so now you can see it's 2016 Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat. We have one new file. If you click on that, that's going to be your restore file or your backup file, which you can always load back into the car if you decide to sell the car or whatever may happen, whatever the case may be. You'll have that file saved forever and always on your phone and or the HP Tuners device. So Now, what's cool about this is now I'm going to see that I'm going to write a file. I'm going to put it into the server. We will notify you that that file is ready for download. Then you're going to go back to this screen and you're going to click on sync files. And when we click on sync files, you're going to have a new file waiting, and then that will transfer that file to the device. Okay, so now I have sent a tune or uploaded a tune onto the server, the Tune Delivery Network server. So now I will send you a notification saying, hey, you have a new tune available. So go ahead and sync up. So you're going to go back, just to show you, go back to the main screen. You're going to open your app and you're going to go to Flash. You're going to click on sync files. And now it's going to query the TDN server. It's going to download the files from the TDN server. Now it's connecting to the MPVI2 Plus or the HP Tuners device, whether that be RTD and what have you. And now it's sending the files to the MPVI2 Plus or RTD. Okay, so now we have completed the query and syncing up, and now you see two new files are there. So we already have the restore file there. Now you can see the 93 octane TDN test. Depending on which fuel or what kind of tune that you purchased, it will change the name accordingly. So now we can select 93 octane TDN test. Okay, now we can select write file. You're going to have some information here as well, and the description. I'll put a description in there, so on and so forth, and also says the status for the MPVI2 Plus or the RTD. It says ready, TDN status ready, so we should be ready to write the vehicle. Now, before doing so, make sure that anytime you flash a vehicle, make sure you have your accessories shut off. So shut off your AC, shut off your radio. Make sure you're not draining any more battery. It's always a good idea to put a battery tender on it when you are flashing the vehicle, just to make sure you don't lose or get too low voltage. Or if you have a weak battery, know that and go ahead and switch out your battery if you have a weak battery, because we don't want to cause any potential issues. So just tips for you guys at home. All right, so please plug the MPVI2 Plus into the vehicle and turn ignition on. Again, key on, engine off, or ignition in the run position. And we're gonna need to keep the app open. And again, shut off any of your fans or any of the radio. All right, so we are now flashing the vehicle, and you're going to see some things happening while you're flashing the vehicle. In particular, on the Hellcats, it's going to say blind spot alert unavailable. The screen's going to go black on your dash, on your infotainment. It's completely normal. Also, your shifter will flash on the Dodges, for example. So yeah, it's just basically because what's happening right now is it's communicating with the PCM via the CAN bus. And if you don't know what a CAN bus is, basically it's just a network of modules, and the bus is just basically what it's using to communicate. This module is communicating with this module using this communication protocol. That's basically all that's happening right now. So in order to flash the PCM, we have to communicate across that communication network in order to get to the PCM, because we're not directly flashing the PCM on a bench. So that's the difference here, and that's why all these things are happening, in case you didn't know. All right, key off or ignition off, back on, okay, and complete. And at that point, now you have also some other options. Let's say that when you synced, you should have also received a scanner configuration. Now, if you want to actually scan the vehicle, you can also do that with the TDN app. So if you go to Datalog, you can click on Start, and that will actually Datalog the vehicle. We're key on, engine off right now, so we can technically log the vehicle as it sits. It's just not going to see any run data. It's not going to see RPM. It's not going to see throttle position, but it will see some information. So you can click Start right there. It says, please plug in the MPVI2 Plus. It's already plugged in, or RTD, whatever it may be. Click OK. Now it's connecting to the HP Tuners device. It's figuring out what vehicle it's communicating with. And now it's requesting data. And now we're actually logging the vehicle. Now, this is a good idea. With every time you guys get a tune for a car, we would really like to see a data log of the vehicle just to make sure everything is working correctly. So you're also going to see some gauges pop up while you're logging. So that's kind of cool. So you can see throttle position, mile per hour, RPM, so on and so forth. So there's some cool stuff there that you can take a look at. But yeah, so basically when you're logging the vehicle, we just need you to just do some basic part throttle logging, Just go through the gears just like you're driving the car normal. And then ideally, if you get to a safe location, even better yet, like a track or an open road, if you want to do some full throttle test, that would be a great time to do so. But of course, exercise extreme caution if you're on an open road. A dyno would be even more ideal, but we're not asking you, not saying you have to do that. This is just a check over of everything so we can make sure that your vehicle is running as optimally as possible. If there are issues, you may have some other mechanical problem you are facing that you may not be aware of, such as an ignition coil problem, a spark plug issue, spark plug wire issue, injector issue, so on and so forth. All these things can wreak havoc when you're trying to tune a vehicle, because a vehicle has to be mechanically sound in order to tune the car appropriately. So just keep that in mind. So once you're done logging, you can click stop. Okay. It's stopping the file or stopping the data. All right, so now you're gonna go to view and sync files. And now you've got log 000, and you have the date time group right there. And go ahead and click upload. And now sync files. And now it's actually sending that data log to my server so I can actually look at the data and just to, check things over, basically. It's all kind of part of the process. All right, so now we've synced with the server, and now I can actually look at that data log. And also, if you don't mind shooting us an email, you can text us or call us and let us know, hey, I uploaded a log. Please take a look and let me know what you think. And that's basically all there is to it. And now, guys, just go out and enjoy the vehicle. All right, guys, so that's basically, in a nutshell, how the process works when you receive a tune from myself or one of my partners in the industry. So if you guys have any questions, of course, feel free to reach out to my team or whoever you purchased the tune from, and we will be more than happy to help you out with that. A couple things I do want to clarify real quick before we go. Throughout the process, I was saying MPVI 2 Plus, I was saying MPVI, I was saying RTD. Basically, those are all just different variants of HP tuners devices which you may have at your disposal. Because when you purchase the tune, you may have selected, I already have a device that I know I need to have the credits for the tune. So in that case, you may have an MPVI 2 Plus and not an RTD. So it really just depends on your specific situation. So generically speaking, I'm going to say HP tuner's device, and that will basically cover everything. Another note is if you have an MPVI 2, which is an older variant, and you have an Apple phone, it will not be compatible because the MPVI 2 has a different version of Bluetooth than what your Apple does. So just keep that in mind. So if you have an Apple, you're going to have an MPVI 2 Plus or an RTD Plus in order to use and load the tune with your phone. Just keep that in mind. Also, if you guys have not applied credits, as you noticed, it did not prompt us to apply credits for this particular car because we already had credits for it with this device. So when you go to load the actual tune onto the car, and you get to that portion of it, it's going to pop up and say, you have credits, do you want to use them? And you'll say yes, you'll follow the prompts and do what you're supposed to do there. Now, when you get the RTD from us, we're going to preload it with the right amount of credits dependent upon however you selected or what options you selected in the tune ordering process. So just to clarify that. But with all that being out of the way, we want you guys to enjoy this. It's supposed to be a lot of fun, and I guarantee you're going to enjoy this tune. If you have any issues or you feel like maybe something's not right, definitely Datalog first. Shoot us that Datalog or upload it onto the server so we can take a look at that information. So when we talk to you, we can be better armed with the information we need to help you out and make sure that everything's running correctly, because you may have something else going on, and we can help point you in the right direction to get you going in the right way, and then you'll see the benefits of that tune. So anything else, please do not hesitate to ask. Otherwise, enjoy this tune and happy driving. Thank you.